Hey everyone, back again with another video to help you out. This time I'm showing you how to remove the steering wheel airbag from a 2022 Hyundai Santa Cruz. This is being pulled from a junkyard. I am taking the airbag out because I'm pulling the steering column out. So that's the reason for this. If you need to access your switches and all that stuff, you may need to take this out as well. But I've already taken this out for the sake of time. It's kind of it was kind of a trial and error for me to figure this out, so I figured I'd make a video to show other people or to show myself later if I have to do this again. Before you begin any kind of airbag work, always make sure to disconnect the negative terminal on your battery. Common sense stuff there. If this airbag has not gone off yet, it could go off in the process of trying to remove it, so that's not good. Anyway, you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver and a thin flathead screwdriver. At least that's what I've used. I'll show you here what I've got going on here. So these are the two screwdrivers I use. This one's really thin and it's kind of got a little bent tip on the end of it. I don't think that's really a make or break for this application, but it did the job for me. I'm sure they make tools for this, but I don't have those. So anyway, I first removed the clamshell from the bottom and top here. The top up here is just held on with clips that snap into the bottom. So I removed the bottom first, and it has a Phillips head screw in the bottom of this. And then you have to pry up on the top of this. I just came in right in here and just popped this up, and it will reveal the two Phillips head screws here. I think they're also 8mm. Use caution taking those out because you have to turn the steering wheel to the side to access those, and you may not have you might scuff your steering wheel right in here if you're not careful, which is why you can also probably use an 8mm wrench to get those loosened up. But anyway, to remove the airbag, you'll have to, I usually start on the sides. I usually don't start on the bottom, but you'll have these little holes, access points here. It's easier to do it with the clamshell off, which is why I did it. I tried to do it without taking it off, and it didn't really work out so well because you need to come in at a funky angle, and it's a lot harder to do it with that clamshell in the way. So again, I've already got this airbag out, so let me flip this over and show you what it looks like back here. So you've got this wire that goes all the way around the end of this. This is a spring wire. It hooks into those fingers on both sides here. So it hooks in behind here, and then over here as well, and then down low there's just this one. So when you're coming in here with your screwdriver to release this, you're looking first for the airbag. It'll bottom out when it hits. You need to come in behind that wire because that wire will run across behind this. So when your screwdriver comes in here, it'll find the back of that wire, and then you'll move the screwdriver handle towards the door, outwards toward the door, and that will pull that spring in. And then the spring pressure from the back of this, there's these little springs right here, the spring pressure will release one side. Now keep that in mind, because when you roll this over to do the same thing on the other side, if this side releases, you can accidentally bump it and make it rehook the side you just unhooked. So keep in mind that's a possibility. But then you can pop this side loose on this end, and then on the bottom you've got the single access hole here. You just come straight in. Again, you'll hear the screwdriver hit your metal wire, and that's kind of your telltale that you've got it on the right spot. Hook that in there and pull this out, and it'll pop out just a little. Now once you've got all three of these unhooked, you'll have 3 plugs to remove. These are color coded, so you can't put them in the wrong spot, and they're also different shapes. And then you'll have a ground plug Where is that sucker at? Oh, it's right there. So you'll have these two plugs to remove. You'll have these little orange retainers on either side. You'll need to pry up on those before you can pull this out of the airbag. And the same on this one, you'll have these little orange retainers on each side. Pry that out. And then I just got up underneath the edge of this plug and popped it out of that metal wire clip there. Now if this airbag has gone off, it's likely that you'll need to either reset or replace the airbag control module, located generally underneath the center console or up underneath the front of the dash underneath the console. Those are oftentimes one-time use only modules, so replacing just the airbag isn't going to make the airbag light go off. That module will either need to be replaced or reset. I don't know if they can be replaced or they can be just reset without being replaced, but oftentimes they're only one-time use only, so once the airbag has gone off, it's dead and you need to replace it. And also sometimes when the airbag goes off, it can create a lot of heat and these plugs can melt, in which case you'll need to replace the clock spring, which is mounted behind the steering wheel here. You'll have to unplug that plug there, remove this big, what appears to be a 1921 size bolt, and then work the steering wheel off and replace the clock spring behind it. But anyway, just for our purposes, getting this airbag off, that's all there is to it. If this helped you out, drop a like down below, subscribe for more videos. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave those down below and I'll help as best I can. Thanks for watching.